Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about the main reason that people fail with selling on Amazon FBA and why they don't find it to be a lucrative business and why they end up quitting selling on Amazon for the most part. So the main reason that people quit selling on Amazon or don't succeed with selling on Amazon is the fact that they expect to make a ton of money very quickly. And by no means is Amazon FBA a get rich quick scheme or something that you're going to be able to invest $5,000 in and make $100,000 a year. It doesn't work that way. It's a very capital intensive business and you do have to invest a lot in order to make a lot. So people just starting out, I think they have unrealistic expectations where they expect that they're going to make a ton of money, but in reality, they are not going to be able to make a lot of money if they're just starting out with a very small investment up front. Now, that's not to say that they can't grow the business over time and build up their inventory, build up their profit and stuff like that, but I think a lot of people just expect, okay, well, if I start selling on Amazon, I'm going to be able to quit my job tomorrow. And then the next day I'm going to be a millionaire, and then the next day I don't ever have to work again. I mean, obviously that example is a bit extreme, but I think overall people expect that they're going to make a ton of money very quickly on Amazon, and you definitely can, don't get me wrong. If you have like 100,000 or 500,000 or a million to invest in inventory, then you can make a lot of money very quickly. But I think a lot of people starting out are trying to quit their job and stuff like that. That's not a realistic expectation that it's going to happen overnight. It takes a lot of time. I've been selling on Amazon for over 7 years now, and I've built it over the last 3 years to be over a 7-figure business, and I've quit my job just over 3 years ago to sell on Amazon full time. So it definitely is possible, don't get me wrong. I started with nothing and built it up to over $1 million in inventory right now. So that just goes to show that it is possible, but you just have to keep in mind that it's not something that just happens overnight. The main reason that I think people fail on Amazon and end up quitting is the fact that they go into private labeling, and I think private labeling is an issue for a lot of people because they expect that they're going to be able to go to China, go on Alibaba and source a product for super cheap and then sell it for a ton of money. So basically, let's just say for example, you source an oven mitt and that oven mitt costs you $3 and you're going to plan on selling it for $30. Well, now the market is so competitive with private label products that it's very unlikely that you're going to even sell that product. And the biggest thing with private label is there's a big upfront investment. All these suppliers have minimum order quantities, so you need to order a certain amount prior to being able to source that item and then prior to being able to sell it. So you're going to have a minimum order quantity, so that's an upfront cost. And then what happens if your item doesn't sell? So say you order 300 of an item and it costs you $5 each, then that's $1,500, and then your items come, you put them on Amazon, you start advertising them, and they aren't selling. Then what? And that point is when most people quit. That's the point where they're like, I've lost $1,500, I don't know what to do with these 300 oven mitts or 300 whatever knickknacks that you can order for private label on Amazon. And that's why I think most people fail, is they get into private labeling, they think they're going to create their own brand, they think that they're going to sell the product really quickly and that there's going to be no competition. But there's so many people trying to make a living and make this $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month from selling one product that they private labeled from China, a generic product that they put their own brand name on and then sell it on Amazon. But it's really not that easy. Maybe 5 years ago when nobody knew about private label, then it would have been a lot easier and you could literally do that and make a ton of money. But now there's so many people trying out private labeling, and the problem is when you don't sell your item, and say that $1,500 that you invested was like you're counting on that, you can't pay your rent next month if you don't sell those items, then that's when people get into financial issues with selling on Amazon and end up quitting because they can't take the risk of not being able to sell. And the bottom line is most people who try private labeling fail because it's a difficult market to get into with all the competition that there currently is, and it's not something that's easy to succeed in now. And that's why I think a lot of people fail, is they expect to create this brand and then have their brand name and then basically have a bunch of products under that brand name that they're going to grow this business, and then they're going to be able to retire off of this one brand that they've created. But you have to remember how many thousands of people are trying to do the exact same thing. And if you can't sell your item, then you're stuck with it, because nobody on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or whatever you're going to try to sell it on and clear it out is going to want to buy a generic private labeled brand product that they've never heard of. So you're going to be stuck with this product and it's going to be a loss, and that's when most people just quit. They give up. They're like, I can't make money on Amazon. Everyone that's saying that they're making money is obviously lying or getting super lucky. And the bottom line is, it's the wrong business model for most people. Most people starting out on Amazon don't have a ton of money to invest, and that's why I use the online arbitrage business model, and that's why most people who do use this model at least are able to get their money back out of it, even if they fail. So let's say rather than putting that $1,500 into a private label product, you put that $1,500 into KitchenAid mixers, let's just say, for example. And so you buy 5 $300 KitchenAid mixers and you're planning on selling it for $400 or $500 on Amazon, and then your item doesn't sell. Let's just say competition came in, tanked the price, you're going to be losing money. What do you do now? Well, at least you can unload that product on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or Kijiji or eBay even, because people already know that that's a well-known product. And that's where people who do the online arbitrage business model have a lot more success and have a lot higher success rate in selling on Amazon, because of the fact that you're selling brand name products that are already well known. You don't have to do any advertising. I've never spent $1 on advertising in selling on anything on my Amazon FBA business in my store. I've never spent $1 on advertising, because everything that I sell is well-known brand names that I don't need to advertise. The brand of these products, those companies are doing the advertising for me, and everyone knows those brand names already, that I don't have to go and waste money on advertising. And I'm able to just purchase the item from an online retailer, send it into Amazon, put my price up so that I make a good profit margin on it, and then when it sells, I profit off that, and I don't have to advertise or try to promote that product at all, because people already know the product. They're coming onto Amazon to look for it, and then they're able to buy it from me. And even if the product doesn't sell, then you can still sell it on in other marketplaces or on your own local, like Craigslist, for example, and still get something out of that product and at least break even. Whereas with private labeling, that money's gone and you're stuck with the product, and that's when most people will quit. There's no going back. You're going to be stuck with that product, and you're not going to want to try it again, because you think if you failed once, you're probably going to fail again because of the competition, and that there's so many people doing the private label thing and trying to make all this money off of it. But people forget about online arbitrage and how much money you can really make from online arbitrage. Last week I passed over $2 million in sales on Amazon.com, and now within this last week I'm over 2.1 million in sales now. It's Q4 obviously, so it's super busy right now, and my business continues to grow, and I am 100% online arbitrage. And so everything that I buy is from online retailers, and they're all brand name products that people already know. I don't have to advertise, and I don't have to worry about people not knowing what the product is. And the other thing is if you get a return on a private label product, then you're stuck with the product. Nobody's gonna buy it. Whereas if you get a return on like a high value item and the customer just opened it and then put it back in the box and returned it because it was the wrong size or something, then you can still resell that, whereas you can't resell a private label product. But the basically the main reason that people fail is they have the unrealistic expectation of making a ton of money very quickly. And I'm very transparent and open that that is not the case. And you will not get rich quickly off of Amazon. And it does take a lot of time, a lot of investment. It's very capital intensive. So you do have to, especially with the online arbitrage business model, you have to invest in products that you're going to purchase from an online retailer. Then you send it into Amazon. They take care of the fulfillment for you and all of the customer service. So it's sort of a hands-off business, especially if you use a prep center, then it's definitely hands-off. You never even touch those products. Whereas with the private label thing, people will order one time, and if their product doesn't sell, then they either tank the price and take a loss on it, or they're just stuck with the item if no one even wants to buy it at that low price. And then that's when most people give up, and that's why the fail rate of so many people doing private label is so high, because so many people fail from it because it's not an easy business model, and it's not easy like people like to make it look, because it's definitely not. Whereas online arbitrage, I'm not going to say it's easy, because it still definitely takes a lot of work. But when you have the tools that I have shown you in the other videos on my channel, then it definitely is possible to make a lot of money. And like I said, it's not easy, but it's definitely more user-friendly because of all the like tactical arbitrage and stuff that you can use to find profitable products to resell on Amazon. And then when you do find those products, then you purchase them, have them sent to the prep center or send them to your house. You package them and then send them to Amazon, or have the prep center package them and send them to Amazon. And then they're available for sale, and then people can purchase your items. So those are the main two reasons that I think people fail on Amazon FBA, is the unrealistic expectation and the fact that they start out with private labeling. So if you're someone who's tried private labeling and not had success with it, then I'm sorry to hear that, but definitely recommend giving online arbitrage a try, because it is a lot less risky and it's a lot more realistic that you're going to make money off of it, and you don't have any minimum order quantities. That's another key, is there's no, like, you don't have to order 300 units. In fact, most times you can't, because online retailers a lot of times will limit the quantities that you can buy. So it's sometimes a limit of 5, limit of 10, limit of 20. So that's great for someone just starting out, is you don't have a big upfront investment. You're just ordering, say, 1 unit to see if it sells, testing the market, and then if it does sell, then you can reorder from that supplier and order more, so that you can sort of test the market rather than having to order 300 or 500 units in private labeling and then sending your inventory in and having no one buy it because you're not a well-recognized brand name and nobody's heard of you, and then you get stuck with all this inventory. So for those people who have tried it and not succeeded, then I highly recommend giving the online arbitrage business model a try, because it's something that I would say anyone can make money in. And even if you have $50 to invest, then all you have to do, create an Amazon account and buy that one $50 product or two $25 products just to test it out, because I think anyone who tries it out will see that there's money that can be made, and that definitely if you're gonna start now, being in Q4, there's a lot of opportunity, and especially on the Amazon.com marketplace, where there's just so many buyers and the inventory just moves so quickly if you are buying the right products. So I do teach how to sell on Amazon using the online arbitrage business model in my course, the FBA Freedom course. That'll be the first link in the description below. And then below that, you will see all the tools that I use to be successful and to have grown my business to multiple 7 figures this year. And that is revenue, that's not profit obviously, but still I'm making a significant profit off of selling on Amazon FBA, and that's all thanks to the online arbitrage business model. So I hope this video kind of clears it up for you guys of why most people fail on Amazon FBA and why people don't succeed in selling their products on Amazon FBA, and that's mainly because of the private label business model, unfortunately, because a lot of people get tricked into the fact that they can get rich quick with sourcing a product for low and then selling it for high and moving a lot of inventory. But obviously that's easier said than done, and it's not realistic to think that way when you are selling on Amazon FBA with the private label business model. And that's why I definitely don't recommend the private label business model. Me personally, I've had success with the online arbitrage business model. So that's why I recommend the online arbitrage business model to anyone who's looking to make money in selling on Amazon. And there's no minimum startup cost or startup investment for the online arbitrage business model. You can start with, like I said, $50 and just invest in the first couple products. And the key is to constantly reinvest your profits into additional inventory, and that's how you're going to grow the business. And there's also ways to leverage your credit. So when you're buying products on your credit card, then you say you have like a $5,000 credit limit, then you can buy like $3,000 or $4,000 of inventory, send that into Amazon, as long as it's inventory that's going to sell. And then you can purchase that inventory, send it in. When it sells, then pay off those credit cards, and it allows you to have a little more money to invest. But obviously for people just starting out, then I don't recommend that. I recommend just small upfront investment of what you can afford, and then go from there. As you're able to scale the business, then you can use your credit cards to leverage that credit and to purchase additional inventory. But I would hate for people to get stuck with high credit card bills as a result of purchasing items for online arbitrage. So just keep that in mind, that you do want to test the market first and make sure that the items that you're purchasing are in fact going to be profitable and are in fact going to sell. So make sure that they're selling first before you go buy a bunch of them on your credit card and get stuck with those high interest rates. So I hope this video helped kind of clear those things up of why people fail in selling on Amazon FBA. And if you did enjoy this video and you've watched it all this far, then make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks so much for watching.